So, why would Cory Booker be the worst presidential candidate for the Democratic Party in 2020? Now, let me explain this. So, first of all, Cory Booker, let's get into his background. Cory Booker is the junior senator from New Jersey, and he's been there for 4 years now, I think. And he's becoming more popular because he's famously known now for leaking Kavanaugh's files or something like that. And and then some people are praising him, the Democrats, the progressives are just like, "Oh, he finally did something right for once." And then there's Republicans that are saying, "Bro, there was like no point to that." And then there's independents and Republicans and Democrats that are doing what I'm doing, and we're all saying, "Bruh, we all know he's doing this just to go off with a bang and run for president." Like, we all know that's why he did that, right? Like, now let me say why. So, in his political views, he is I looked on the issues.org on Cory Booker, and he's more of a centrist Democrat, so he's, like a Clinton coalition Democrat. He's for gay marriage and like LGBT rights and all that, women's right to choose and all that, but at the same time, he wants lower corporate tax rates, and he's a business friendly. Like, he's not for single payer healthcare. He's more in favor of a privatized or free market solution, for profit or something. And he is, the progressive wing hates him, like absolutely freaking hates him. And want to know why is because when Bernie Sanders proposed a bill that he made that would where we would import cheaper drugs from Canada, Booker voted against it. Why did he do it? Because Big Pharma. He gets a lot of his money from Big Pharma, and guess what? New Jersey is one of the strongholds for Big Pharma, and I don't know why. So yeah, a lot of progressives hate him for doing that, and I don't know. I haven't studied a whole lot about that issue, about importing cheaper drugs from Canada. I don't know if that would work, but I don't know. So yeah, that's why the progressive wing hates him, and he secretly takes more money than anyone in Congress or the Senate from Wall Street and corporations. And that's another thing that a lot of people don't know. Like, the Young Turks are doing an amazing job exposing it, though, and that's a good thing. And that's also why I said, there's no point for Booker to leave his Senate position because all he wants is money. Like, you should see his corporate donations. Like, that's the only reason he leaked those documents of Kavanaugh is because he wanted to, like, go off with a bang, like I said in the beginning of this video, and run for president, because he's gonna think, "Oh, I'm so badass. I leaked his files. I broke the rules. Vote for me." Yeah. And it's ridiculous, If Booker actually wins the nomination, then, my God, Trump's gonna obliterate him in the election. One of the reasons why is because Booker is the literal definition of establishment. Like, he's one of the leading senators of the Democratic establishment, and he could easily lose most of the progressive vote. And another reason, his voice, the way he talks, is just so cringy. Like, complete cringe, okay? If you saw his meltdown towards Trump, that blonde lady that Trump appointed to some cabinet position, I cringed so freaking hard at that. Like, you can easily tell that he's a scripted. You know, he's just so fake. I mean, I could link his meltdown video to the bottom, and there's plenty of proof in that video that he's a fake. He is. A lot of people say that he's charismatic, but no, in my opinion, he is not charismatic at all. He's really scripted. He's boring too. And I can literally only watch him talk for so long before I start to die of cringe and annoyance. God. Well, that's what you get when... I mean, what'd you expect? He's a corporate puppet. That's how all corporate puppets talk. Now, another reason why... Okay, never mind. Here's something that could benefit him in the election, though. He's African American. You know, that's why a lot of people call him, if he were to run, the second coming of Obama. Like, because Obama was the first African American. You know, and people are saying Booker's African American, he can get the Obama coalition. Yeah. I mean, he's from New Jersey, and Obama was from Illinois, and he had the Rust Belt approval, but Booker, he's from one of the most liberal states. Like, if you look at what happened with John Kerry in 2004, a lot of people didn't vote for him because he's an East Coast liberal. He's out of touch. He doesn't know what it's like to live in the Rust Belt. He doesn't know the Midwestern states. He doesn't know the South. You know, that's why Bush won. The same thing could easily happen to Booker because he doesn't live in the Rust Belt. He lives in one of the most liberal states. New Jersey is like right below Massachusetts, by the way. And, you know, with the economy doing well right now, even though it's not because of Trump, and Trump's going to take credit for it, undoubtedly, that's going to hurt him even more. The people in the Rust Belt are going to be like, oh, why should I vote for you if you're not even from the Rust Belt and the economy's doing well with Trump in office? Yeah, And now I'm not... This also comes into play with West Coast liberals, like Eric Garcetti. You know, I like Eric Garcetti, like, as a person, you know. He's a nice guy. He goes to Christmas events, and he's an overall pretty chill guy. But, you know, if he were to run for president, he would be Rudy Giuliani 2.0. You know, back in 2008, I think Rudy Giuliani was only the mayor of New York City, I think. And a lot of people didn't bash him for that, so Garcetti could pull it off. But Garcetti could win California and a few other tropical states, like Florida, Arizona, and Georgia? I don't know. But he's going to have a hard time because he barely has any name recognition. He's only a mayor, and there's Bernie might run and all these other more popular candidates, Terry McAuliffe. But if a West Coast liberal gets nominated, they're going to have a really hard time too. They're going to be in the same position as John Kerry. You know, East Coast, West Coast, they don't have the Rust Belt approval or the Midwestern approval. Or Florida's, like, the South approval. They just don't. Yeah, so what we can learn from the 2004 election is not to nominate East Coast or West Coast liberals. You know, the only one that I would think would be an okay candidate from either coast is Elizabeth Warren. Like, Warren at least has a record of fighting for the people, at least, and being super anti-corporate. And, you know, that's what the progressive wing likes, and that's what a lot of the Democratic Party in general likes. You know, she's actually a pretty good debater. Like, she's pretty scary. If you watch the YouTube channel Dose of Dissonance, which I'll link below in the description, she absolutely frickin' destroys some of Trump's cabinet members. Like, crap, I forgot. Like Betsy DeVos. And, So yeah, if her and Bernie Sanders were to run together, oh my god. I honestly don't know, like I have no idea. That would be like the ultimate progressive wave. Like that would be a complete revolution if they were to. The thing is though, Elizabeth Warren has said repeatedly that she's not going to run for president, you know? And then that turns the people, they start to say instead Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard is a oh wait. This video is about Cory Booker. Why am I getting off topic again? Oh my god. Okay, screw it. This isn't going to be just about Cory Booker then. It's going to be about why establishment Democrats would be a horrible choice for the presidency in 2020. That seems like a better title, since I tend to go off topic, because I mean there's a lot of things that play into this topic of, being anti-establishment in 2020. So anyways, Tulsi Gabbard is a representative, United States representative in Congress from the state of Hawaii. Now, I have no idea if a politician from Hawaii could win. Like, I actually don't know. Like, I mean, she could win Florida, I'm guessing? But, she's gonna have a hard time winning the Rust Belt because she's like 10,000 miles away from the Rust Belt, and and people are gonna call her as a Hawaii liberal because Hawaii is one of the most liberal states in the country. Trump can easily call her, oh, she's a communist. She's super liberal and like that. But she's easily gonna get the progressive wing. Like, I'd say she's one of the most underrated, like, potential candidates for president, other than Steve Bullock and Julian Castro. And I think her running as Bernie's vice president would be a much better choice than Elizabeth Warren. Because I forgot to say, Elizabeth Warren had that Native American issue thing with her, and Trump can easily call her Pocahontas. That was a pretty good nickname. It was kind of funny, but Pocahontas and so yeah, Bernie and Tulsi Gabbard, that would be a pretty unstoppable ticket in my opinion, because not only are the two really populistic, like populist policies for the people, progressive liberal populists, they would also Bernie's positions are very popular in the Rust Belt, and I don't know why. I mean, he won Michigan in the primaries in 2016, and that could actually benefit him. And if he runs in the primary in 2019/2020, he might even win Ohio because he has the white working class approval, sorta. But the thing is, Arizona, I have no idea about. Like, a lot of people are saying that Bernie could win Arizona, but I don't know. I mean, Arizona is slowly becoming more democratic, like, because a lot of people are leaving California and the Rust Belt and all these other states to move down to the Sun Belt. Like, the Sun Belt is Southern California, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Florida, Georgia, and Louisiana. And yeah, I think that's it. Texas is going to have 42 electoral votes by 2020, some people are saying. And Florida is going to have 31 instead of 29 now. That's going to be a huge benefit to the Republicans if those states are still leaning Republican. I mean, Texas could potentially vote Democrat. It depends on the state of the economy, like, and what Trump has done and the kind of candidate that's running. if Julian Castro runs, he could easily win the Hispanic vote in Texas and win the lower districts like Austin and Houston and Dallas, like all those states. And he would have to campaign really hard in the rural areas and in places like Waco, Texas. And yeah. And now another establishment Democrat, Kirsten Gillibrand, Hillary 2.0. She would also be one of the the second worst candidate. Like, first of all, she's Hillary Clinton 2.0 pretty much. And she's from New York. And New York, that's a little bit close to the Rust Belt. It's like a few hundred miles away from Michigan. But she could easily lose the progressive vote too. And she's kind of boring, in my opinion. Like, she's not presidential, okay? She's just, like, senatorial, like, just stay in the Senate, please. Please, that's what you're good at. You're not good at president, yeah, like that. And a lot of people could agree with me, like, she's not presidential at all. She doesn't, never mind. Anyways, the next establishment Democrat is, one of them is, Joe Biden. Yeah, Joe Biden. A lot of people are saying that Joe Biden isn't going to run, but if he does run, he would I'd say he's the third or second best candidate to run in 2020. Because first of all, he is a really scary debater. Like, if you saw him against Paul Ryan and Sarah Palin, he freaking obliterated them. Like, with now you're Jack Kennedy and all that. That was pretty funny when I was watching it in 2012. And there's a little joke I made too. It's Biden could easily win 40% of the Republican vote with his smile alone. And he is filled to the brim with gaffes, but they're not as bad as George W. Bush's, but they're actually funny. But the thing is, Biden is a little sad right now because he's still a little sad over the death of his son, Beau or Bew. He died from forehead cancer or something, brain cancer. I don't know. I didn't even know that he died until a few months ago. And if Beau Biden was alive, he would undoubtedly be the best candidate for president. He's young, he's charismatic, he's a Biden. He could easily get his debating skills from his dad, and he could get the Obama coalition easily. But no, he died. And that's sad. I'm sad. Yeah. I'm gonna miss Beau Biden. He was a pretty sweet guy. Anyways, the next establishment Democrat is Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo. Speaking of that, there was a primary a few days ago, and Andrew Cuomo obliterated Cynthia Nixon. I was absolutely predicting an Andrew Cuomo victory because, first of all, Cynthia Nixon, she is one of the worst speakers I've ever seen. She says and like in every sentence she says, and that's not gonna, a lot of people aren't gonna like that. They're gonna get annoyed. Andrew Cuomo barely said he was a pretty good speaker during the debate. And he's the incumbent. Like, what'd you expect? The Cuomo family in general has a lot of popularity in New York. And New York is one of the most democratic / establishment states in the country. They're just not progressive or democratic socialist / social democrat, social democracy. Bill de Blasio, I don't know. People want Bill de Blasio to run for president. I don't know why. I don't know how he would do. I mean, he's just a mayor like Eric Garcetti. The only thing is, he's running the biggest city in the world. Did you know that being freaking mayor of New York is is a harder job than being governor of Montana? Think about that. Mayor of New York. The same more stress than being governor of an entire state. New York City pretty much is the entire state. No one cares about upstate New York, right? Let's take their money and invest it down here in the city. Yeah. A lot of people, too many people forget about upstate New York, you know? A lot of the revenue comes from upstate New York, like the farms and the mountains and all that crap. But no, it's always New York City, Brooklyn. Yeah. Buffalo. Screw upstate. Let's nuke it. I'm just joking. And now the next establishment Democrat would be... Kamala Harris. Yes, I forgot. Now, Kamala Harris, she would be the third worst candidate for president because she's a West Coast liberal, number one. She tries really hard to be like a liberal version of Trey Gowdy, and she fails so bad at it. She got freaking wrecked during the Kavanaugh hearings. And third is she's really corporate, and a lot of people don't like her everywhere. Like, the progressive wing is saying, oh, she sucks, I'm not going to vote for her. And she just wants to be president, you know? She thinks she's so badass, and she's not, really. She would easily lose to Trump because, I'm not being sexist, but she's also a woman. Like, there would easily be a lot of misogynistic voters on the stage, and a lot of people think that, you know, a male is much better for the presidency because, I don't know if this is true, but they're saying that if a female got elected president, there would be massive destabilization in a few Middle Eastern countries, potentially starting a war. Because some Middle Eastern countries absolutely hate women, like Pakistan and ISIS, you know? And I don't think that's a good enough reason. I mean, it doesn't really matter who we elect to the presidency, whether they're old, white, rich, you know, female, male, transgender, gay, lesbian, bisexual. I don't care. It's just based on policy. And yeah. Anyways, those are my worst candidates for 2020, and this is another overall speculation of 2020, and thanks for watching. My next video is going to be about Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling to the national anthem. So it's going to be a little controversial, but I think I'll handle it. All right. Goodbye.